Here's my audio. Can you see, or can you see? Yeah. Joey, wave. Yeah, Joey. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Devin Smith, and today I will be presenting a speech on the invasive species of kudzu. Kudzu is a climbing, coiling, and trailing vine that is native to southern Japan and Southeast Asia. It is a weed that climbs over trees and shrubs and grows so rapidly that it kills them by heavy shading. This plant is edible, but often sprayed with herbicides and pesticides. Kudzu spreads by vegetative expansion, and kudzu will also spread by seeds, which are contained in pods and mature in the autumn. The hard-coated seeds may not germinate for several years, which can result in the reappearance of the species years after it was thought to be eradicated from a site. Kudzu has been used as a form of erosion control and also a soil enhancer. It increases the nitrogen in the soil, resulting in a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria. Its deep taproots also transfer valuable minerals from the subsoil to the topsoil, thereby improving topsoil. Popular from anywhere from Florida to New York, westward to central Oklahoma and Texas, with the heaviest infestations existing in Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. Kudzu was first introduced from Japan into the United States at the Japanese Pavilion in the 1876 Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia, and it is now common along roadsides and undisturbed areas throughout most of the southeastern United States. Kudzu is an invasive species. An invasive species are non-native plants or animals that adversely affect the habitats they invade. And these adverse effects include economic, environmental, and ecological. When first introduced, the federal government offered up to $3.2 per acre as an incentive for farmers to plant kudzu. However, these effects were extremely detrimental. Effects of invasive plants include reducing crop yield, quality, and quantity, and interference with cultivation and harvest operations, and they are very, very hard to get rid of. Kudzu has been spreading at the rate of 150,000 acres annually, and by 1970, the U.S. Department of Agriculture listed kudzu as its common weed in the South, and it was cited in a report by Congress in 1993 as one of the most harmful non-indigenous plant species in the U.S. It was also listed as a federal noxious weed in 1998. Eradication of this weed is so necessary because kudzu is such an invasive species, it is now beginning to limit the U.S.'s biodiversity and take over our usable farmland while killing existing plant life. Some strategies of eradication include protecting ecosystems from invasive species, such as reducing stresses, thus increasing resilience to a variety of good stressors. However, for successful long-term control of kudzu, it is not necessary to destroy the entire root system. Regrowth from underground rootstocks occurs because of an insufficient translocation of glyphosate to the rootstocks. As long as the glyphosate of the root system is jeopardized, the entire plant will suffer. So far, the most effective means of eradication include chemical and biological methods of control, such as organic pesticides and herbicides, and manual eradication in smaller areas. In conclusion, invasive species are damaging ecologically to our biodiversity and our viable land sources, such as farmland. Eradication is so necessary in order to maintain high biodiversity and viable farmland. To do so, a number of eradication strategies have been developed, especially for areas of water and areas that are inhabited, as well as those that are uninhabited. And for those uninhabited areas, manual eradication is most popular. It is important to inform others of these invasive plants and their damaging effects to work towards a solution. The more we work together, the more we can do to prevent loss of viable farmland and improve our biodiversity. And improving our biodiversity and our farmland results in a happier habitat for us all. That concludes my speech on the invasive species of kudzu.